Hello, everyone. My name is Laura, and I want to tell you my story about what we are never taught in school, what teachers, friends, or even parents will never teach us. It's important, though. I genuinely believe that lessons on self-esteem and emotional stability are simply required to be included in the school curriculum, but adults do not care. They say you need brains and that's all. You need to be a good student, then a good girl, wife, mother, employee. We were only told how to act and how not to lose yourself among the crowd, how to tease your curls, straighten your legs, or lose excess weight. We weren't told how to survive angry people, the hundreds of stares staring after you. And I'll tell you it all, because it's important. Every girl just has to know it and understand it, for their own sake. Have you ever heard the expression, "Don't be born beautiful, but be born happy"? I do not know what kind of idiot came up with this, but I am sure that this person had no problems with popularity at school. There were no show-offs with appearance in their social circle. After all, only people like us can understand us. I am now talking about those who are deprived of attention in class and in the entire world. I, like no one else, understand the feelings of being an outcast. What to do if you were born like that, without a gorgeous figure, hair, or long legs? What to do if you don't have money, but at the same time you are smart and study well? As it turned out, brains are not always the way out of it. Because if you're ugly and you're a good student, then you're a terrible nerd. And if you're a bad student, then you're just scary. Which expression do you like best? I've heard both. At first, when I got tired of my shadow of a life, I decided to just get good grades. I knew that I would be approached by girls from my class, like give me a copy of my books, and I thought that if I studied well, maybe helped them with their studies, I could ask a favor. I could ask them to make me more beautiful. That was my plan. Did it work? Listen to my story. This girl's name is Kimberly, and she's the most popular. Not only does she have good looks, but she also has money. Plus, she's dating the captain of our school's basketball team, Dick. They are a beautiful couple, and everyone always admires them. And I was jealous. It seemed to me that if I had such an appearance, then 70% of my problems would simply disappear and fall onto those who are not like that. That is, like me. I have no problems with being overweight, but I always thought that I was overweight. I do not know how to do my makeup, do my hair, and often just wear the same thing every day. But my mother persisted in admiring me, especially when I got good grades. In general, my plan worked. Kim began to ask me for help. I helped her without fail. First once, then 3 more times, then almost every day. The tasks that were given for us to do individually, I did for her, and went to her house. In those moments, she called me a friend, even though I knew she didn't mean it. And then one day, when I went to her house to study, the lessons dragged on until late. Her friends, April and Erica, came to her house. They were cousins, but they were so much alike. They talked me into staying for their bachelorette party. At first, I couldn't find a place. I thought it was better to leave, because all they talked about was guys, and then they started asking me if I had anyone. It was immediately clear from my face that I didn't, so they started giving me advice. And then I took the chance. I asked for help. They were delighted. They immediately pulled off my clothes, loosened my hair, and began to work wonders. It was painful, strange, and wild, but I endured it. After 3.5 hours, I was allowed to look in the mirror, and I saw another girl in front of me. I didn't even recognize myself at first. I no longer looked like that gray mouse. I had decent makeup, dress, shoes, and hair. I looked more beautiful than I'd ever looked in my life, and Kim proudly admired her work. "Well, you're one of us now," she said. I didn't know what she meant, but I liked it. The very next day, I showed up at school in my new look. Everyone looked at me and admired me, and I just prayed I wouldn't twist an ankle in my heels. It was the best day of my life, the best I've ever felt. From that moment on, everyone began to look at me differently, and Kim constantly walked around. I knew that she now thought that I would forever owe her or something, and I was right. After a couple hours of fame, the compliments to me enraged Kim. Suddenly, everyone began to think that I was more beautiful than her, more spectacular, and she didn't like it. And then she conceived a plan born of envy. While I was being blinded by a wave of unexpected fame, while the guys were making eyes at me, she came up behind me and pushed me face first into the dirt. I fell in front of everyone just before the entrance to the school. Everyone started laughing, taking pictures, and they immediately forgot that they had just showered me with compliments. And when I looked up at her, she said that friends are friends and no one has the right to take her place. The next day, I came back to school in my old clothes and was invisible again. Everyone just laughed at my photos in the mud, and that's it. No one remembered my beauty. I faded, and I was crushed. I had no idea what to do next. And then April came up to me. It was unexpected. I thought she wanted to give me a message from Kim, but she told me to come to her house in the evening and then quickly ran away. I didn't know what she wanted, but I went anyway. April asked me to keep our meeting a secret. Even Erica wasn't supposed to know anything. She told me that the image of me in the dress had hit everyone on the spot. Kim noticed it, and therefore she was afraid. But what is she afraid of? I asked, and then April answered, losing her popularity. She's the most beautiful girl we have in the school right now, and imagine if she's not just replaced, but replaced by you, a girl who spent more than half of her school life in the shadows. It will be a huge blow to her, April said, and then promised to help me restore my reputation. But why are you helping me? I asked incredulously, to which April replied that Kim had once shamed her in front of everyone at school as well. I remembered that day. Those two friends came to school in identical skirts, and Kim ordered her friend to take it off. April promised that she would take it off when she got home. She can't walk around naked. But Kim was indignant and said that she should not dare not listen to her. And when April refused again, Kim snapped her fingers. A team of basketball players approached them. The guys held April's hands, and Kim ripped off her skirt and immediately cut it with scissors. When I asked her why she was even friends with Kim anymore, she said, "Because I'm a coward. I'm afraid of her, okay? She can make your life hell, or vice versa. You just have to listen to her. And you're not afraid of her. You don't care, do you? You will be able to avenge all the girls who offended her," she said with tears in her eyes. At first, I didn't want to agree. I refused because I didn't want to be a blunt weapon for revenge. But when I got to school the next day, I noticed something. In the women's bathroom, Kim was yelling at some girl. The girl had looked at Kim's boyfriend the wrong way. Kim made her kiss her shoes. It was humiliating. Erica was shooting everything on camera, and Kim was clearly enjoying it. That day, I texted April that I was ready. April prepared me, told me everything I needed to know about Kim, how to respond and where to look, about her fears and complexes. She also gave me some of her new clothes and taught me how to do my makeup and my hair. About a week later, I went back to school with my new look. Everyone was staring at me again, then Kim came over. She immediately told me to go home and change. Otherwise, things would get worse. "What are you going to do to me, bitch?" I asked her, and she grabbed my hair. I started to fight back, but she held on too tightly. There was a commotion in the corridor, and the teachers came running. We were separated and called to the director's office, and a warning was given. After school, Kim would hear everyone talking about me on the street, and she would freak out. Kim went up to her boyfriend, and he jokingly said that today was the height of one beauty, and that beauty was not her. You should have seen her face. When Kim found me, she was ready to tear me up. I just stood there and waited for her to get close enough. And the moment she raised her hand to me, Monica grabbed her. She was this nerd girl from our class, and she was even quieter than me. Kim said she would crush her like a bug, but another classmate immediately intervened, and then another, and another, and another. They created a human shield for me, and Kim was furious. If you lay a finger on her or any of us, we'll break your hands like fingernails. Just one click. Do you understand? The girl said. I had become an inspiration to them, bold and beautiful. I let them know that you can change yourself, no matter what people like Kim say. After all, we and only we are the masters of our lives. The main thing is to be good from the inside.